Hi, my name is Jay, and this is my breakdown of solitary confinement.
I played it innocent, a feel of discontent. I'm finally facing it all, fearless.
Why have I been in the hole so much? In the word, investigation. Practically every time in prison, not jail, that I ended up in solitary, it is for what they lovingly call investigation. This ambiguous term is used to justify putting people in isolation for extended periods of time when they haven't actually done anything wrong, or as a way to overpunish. They are allegedly investigating into whether you have done anything that warrants that punishment. You sit in the hole while they try to find a reason. They search your property, listen to phone calls, reread mail, emails, and talk to informants. Try and find something. If they can't find anything during those days, weeks, and months, that leads me to the term Ad-Seg, administrative segregation. When you are in the hole and have yet to be infracted, like on an investigation, you're an Ad-Seg. After being found guilty, you are on D-Seg, disciplinary segregation. For us, that is a distinction without. Aren't there set time limits for Ad-Seg and D-Seg? Yes and no for both. They initially have 15 days in Washington for Ad-Seg to perform the investigation and either infract or release you. But they can get a 30-day extension, and there are no limits on the number of 30-day extensions they can get. Quite frequently, the less you're actually guilty of doing, the longer you're waiting for them to complete the investigation. With D-Seg, there are also guidelines depending on the infractions and your history. Let's say I was fighting. The guidelines might only be 2 to 10 days of D-Seg. What they will often do is open an investigation into the fight. Then, after getting a couple of extensions, they will write the infractions, find me guilty, and then start the D-Seg time. I will have spent 2 months or more in the hole, but only 2 to 10 days of it was on D-Seg. That one, funny enough, came after the investigation concluded that I had done nothing wrong. I was released from the hole and then written up anyway. Funny. Well, I was at Callum Bay working in the kitchen. A metal spatula came up missing one morning. Everyone was searched, everything stopped, and it was a big deal. It was eventually located. Someone apparently told staff that they saw me with the spatula. I got cuffed up, strip searched, and taken to the hole under Ad-Seg pending the outcome of the investigation. 45 days later, I got cleared by the investigation as there was no evidence linking me to it. A few days later, I got a serious infraction, possession of a weapon, for the spatula. At my hearing, I showed the paperwork from the investigation, but I got found guilty anyway. His rationale was that nothing similar had happened since I was gone, so it must have been me. I got 30 days in D-Seg. Yes, being in the hole under Ad-Seg or D-Seg will affect your potential release date. You can lose good conduct time for infractions. I lost 90 days for the spatula, which extends your release date. You also lose earned time while in Ad-Seg or D-Seg. I believe it's 2 days added to your release date for every month you're in the hole, at least in this state. Prior to the pandemic, there was a lot more Ad-Seg investigations going on. They've been trying to keep those beds open for quarantine. One bonus of COVID. Allegedly, the new head of Washington DOC wants to limit the use of solitary confinement, and she follows some Swedish or Dutch prison system, but not well. She has good intentions. I applaud her, but there are a lot of bad apples who work in the system and will stymie her efforts. It takes a long time to change such a destructive system.